Okay. So from this, I mean, from the text that we have in the data, we can perform certain tasks. As you can see from the data that we have, we can convert into the lower, we can convert into the upper, we can find the different data that we have. So if we just try to consider the data dot lower, so data dot lower, first try to convert it to the lower format, then try to split it and assign it to the data lower, okay? As you can see from this part. What if we just wanted to perform like from this lower, we just wanted to find out the unique elements, okay? So as you can see from this part is, once it is sorted, let's say that sorted of the data that I have in this part. So it's going to give me the sorted elements. So from here, as you can see from this part is the columns are yours, and here you can see your. So how many you do we have on this document? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 views are there in this document. So what if we are looking for unique elements? So we can simply add in here to the set. Set is to mean the unique elements. So object oriented ስለሆነ እዛው ላይ ቢል እያደረግን መሄድ እንችላለን ብለናል. So if I try to run, you can see that the unique element that we have on these parts. Can you see that the unique element that we have is just only these ones, whereas the actual data that we have is this data, I think 149 elements, okay? We can count the length of the element after considering the length, okay? After removing the duplication. So that after duplication removed, there are 86 characters, 86 words, whereas on the previous case, we have seen there are 149, there are 149 words, 149 words ነበሩን እነዛ 149 words because of the repetitions is going to be removed. Then after that, then we come up with 86 different words. Of course, this needs also some additional processing. For example, the full stop is attached to the word. So we don't know that if there is a word that ends with the same words, then it's going to minimize, okay, some of the words. Let's say that በዘም የሚያልቅ ኖሮ መሀል ላይ ዘም የሚል ቴክስት ከመጣ ኖርማላይዝ ስናደርገው punctuation ሪሙቭ ስናደርገው full stop, question mark, exclamation, even in the other language, if you don't have ነጠላ ሰረዝ፣ ደብል ሰረዝ፣ አራት ነጥብ፣ እነዚህ የመሳሰሉትን ነገሮችን ኖርማላይዝ ስናደርግ እነዚህ ኤሌመንቶች ምን ይሆናሉ? ኢቨን ከ86 በታችም ሊወርድ ይችላል ማለት ነው, depending on the cases, okay? So let's just try to see also from this point of view, okay? Since the video is going to be shared, it doesn't matter whether I delete some file or not, okay? So let's assume that here we have the data that we have already seen in the previous one. Let's say that we do have the word list. That's one of the things. Just before I move to the looping statement, first let me try to discuss on the conditional statement, okay? Conditional statement. Now I'm going to forward this question to Cherry. Cherry, can you open your video and tell me how the conditional statement, if-else statement works in the other programming language, please? How the if-else statement works in the other programming language. Cherry, go ahead. Muted, you are muted. Unmute yourself, please. Cherry, go ahead.
ድምፁ አይሰማም እየቀዳ አይደለም።
Cherry, go ahead. Okay, I think we can't hear you because of your mic. Wuletaw, can you go ahead on that one? We are going to write C++ program conditional statement if else.
Okay. If else.
Yeah.
መጀመሪያ if እንትኑን ነው ኮዱን ነው የምናገረው ወይስ
yes
ኮንሰፕቱን ነው?
Yes, you can tell me the code or the concept, or tell me the code so that it's going to work like this one. If
in the bracket
yes,
condition is alpha,
then here we will have some expression, right? Then if this is true, then something is going to be performed.
Something is produced.
Right? Like this.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
else
if is going to be, here is going to come the expression 2, then the other case is going to be followed. Otherwise, if the set ካለቁ በኋላ መጨረሻ ላይ ማን ይመጣል? else is going to come, right? This is C++. So the syntax is not exactly the same as to these ones. So if you are considering the hello, Mehraf, can you mute yourself, please? Mehraf, can you mute yourself, please? Okay, so in using the conditional statement for the C++ is going to be like this ones, okay? But in Python, if you come to the Pythons, you are going to use the same technique, but the syntax is a bit different. So if condition is going to be included, if there is some expressions, complex expression, you can put in the left and right brace, or you can ignore as it is, okay? So if then some expression is going to come, then there is no left and right French brace. There is no brace like this ones, okay? In Python, we don't have what we call the two dots, or the colon is going to be used in order to represent that inside that block, okay? That block ውስጥ ነው የሚለው ነገር represent ለማድረግ ማንን ነው የምንጠቀመው? We just use this line, and if I try to press enter, then automatically it's going to indent by some labels. ይሄንን enter ሳደርገው here you can see that there is some indentation in these pointers, okay? If the expressions, then I can perform whatever the thing that I just wanted to perform. Let's say that print something, then there is no else if statement, rather there is elif, else if, which is an equivalent representation for else if. So elif is going to be used, elif, then some expression is going to be followed, expression 2 is going to come, then the semicolon, then I just wanted to perform certain operation on this part, then finally we can move to the else statement, okay? The else statement, then print some other things, okay? I will try to add something on those parts. So as you can see from the expressions here, because it is inside that block code, so if I press backspace 1, then it's going to automatically move to that parts. So I can press enter and move indentation. Indentation is going to be seriously used in these parts. So if the level of indentation is not in the appropriate way, then automatically it's going to generate an error, okay? It's automatically generate an error. So if expressions print something, otherwise, else if the expression to print do something, otherwise do on the third one, okay? Let me just try to use the same concept in here. Assume that I just wanted to check that I'm going to receive some value from the users, let's say number. If the number is greater than 0, let's say that we just wanted to display that the number, comma, the value num is positive. Okay, if it is greater than 0, then it is positive, okay? Positive is going to be let me say that it is positive, okay? If the number is less than 0, if the value of the number is less than 0, then it's going to represent the number as negative. The number is going to be considered as a negative. In here, it's going to be the number is going to be considered as negative. Otherwise, the value is 0. Okay, the number is 0. Okay, so there are 3 different possibilities for the number to be, okay? So we didn't receive the value from the users, but we need to receive that one. So in order to receive anything from the external environment, from the systems or from some other outputs, we are going to use input method, okay? Let's say that user input is equivalent to input. Input is the keyword which enable us to receive the value from the users, like cin or system.out.in, system.in እንደምንለው ወይንም ከዩዘሩ እንደምንቀበለው ኮንሲደር እናደርጋለን። then whatever the thing that I'm going to put on a quotation is going to be displayed for the users. So please type here in the text that I need. I hope everybody knows what the \n is going to represent, okay? It's just to mean that the new line, right? So the \n is going to represent the new line. User input is equivalent to input. Please type here. Then the \n is going to be used. Then whatever the value that you have received from the input, it's going to be considered as a string, so that you have to cast it to the appropriate type. Since here we are dealing with numerical value, so num is equivalent to I can convert into an integer of user input, okay? The user input is going to be converted to the integer, okay? User input is equivalent to num is equivalent to user input. Then we can do whatever the thing that we'd like to perform under this parts. So let me just try to run for this ones, okay? If I try to run, as you can see from the right side, it prompts me to put some values, okay? I have to put some values. Let's say that if the value that I'm using is -6, then automatically it's going to display the number -6 is negative የሚለው ነገር display ያደርግልኛል, okay? So this is the value that I have on this part. As you can see, this is the value that I have on this part, the negative, and the value negative itself is going to be displayed in this part. Mind you, whenever you are receiving some values from the user or from some other systems, always in Python it's going to be considered as string, so that you have to cast to the appropriate data type, okay? You have to cast to the appropriate data type. Otherwise, it's going to be considered as a string. So if I just forgo to do this, then automatically, and if I assign to the num to these ones, then you will see some errors. So the number in the string cannot be compared with error generate. Let's say that if I just try to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or the number 12 as an input, and if I press enter, so it's going to generate an error. So the error is the string and input, okay? Type error greater than, not supported between the instance of a string and integers, okay? Integer na mana ይባዛል integer compare ከማን ጋር አይደረግም? ከstring ጋር compare አይደረግም. So that we have to cast it to the appropriate data type in that cases. So that this is going to be the user input, this is going to be the user input, then it's going to be compared with these values. Now everything becomes successful once we do that once, okay? Here you can see the value. If I use